Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Crypto Cash. Hey, thank you so much for joining me here today. Hope you're having an amazing day. I'm going to go ahead and help you out here with Matic. Big surprise, right? That's why you clicked on the link in the first place. But this is your one-stop shop for cryptocurrency analysis, among other things. And we just take a look at the technical charts. There's no fundamentals here. And I just want to help you with best practice and hopefully find a good entry point. All right. I'm not a financial advisor, however, so this is for educational purposes only. You should always do your own research. And if you don't know this already, I have a lot of experience, and my goal is to help you become a better trader. So I'll have signal groups moving forward to ensure that we can effectively help you find good entry points, good exit points, kind of share my best practice with you. But also note that I have live streams as well. I'm doing those on the weekends. So as much as I can to try to help you out, my awesome, loyal subscribers. And then some, whomever else is watching as well. You don't have to subscribe, but if you do find benefit, feel free to consider that. Last but not least, I have $25 in Bitcoin available from Voyager application, link in the description below, and of course my Patreon account if you'd like to show your support. Furthermore, my Telegram community, my awesome, amazing Telegram folks, thank you all so much for your support. That is half the reason why I cover Matic so frequently, because I get a lot of requests. All right, so thank you so much. So without further ado, let's just go and get right to it. All right, folks, let's go ahead and take another look at Matic. And just before we do, we always look at Bitcoin and Ethereum first to get a baseline in the market, see what's going on there, and of course, dive deeper into the actual chart for Matic. And we'll go to the 1 day, 4 hour, 15-minute, etc. Just kind of make sure we can find a good entry point, help you with some best practice along the way, and just generally become a better trader. All right, so first things first, Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. And if you're new to the channel, I use TradingView. You can go at tradingview.com, of course. Have an account. It's a very good quality, charting system. So I recommend getting familiar with that. And these lines here, this is the 50-day moving average. Correction, 50-day moving average is this yellow line. The purple is the 200. Those are the two most impactful moving averages you can use on the 4-hour chart. And that's the reason why I use it. As we can kind of see here with the price, take a look at this here. We got the 50-day moving average working its way right down the center. And as you can tell, the price jumps either above or jumps below the 50-day moving average. So unfortunately, we're below right now. The Ichimoku cloud does tell us that we have a buy signal potential, but there's a lot of other things we need to get past, right? A lot of people are worried about this 200-day moving average working its way down. That is essentially a very dangerous scenario. Consider that a death cross. I don't love saying that word, but it is essentially going to push the price down, right? Because the 200 has the largest impact on the price action. So just keep that in mind. That's kind of what's going on here. There's also a declining, wedge or resistance line, you could say, that's coming down. So not a lot of positive stuff here for Bitcoin as far as the price action and how it's moving. It could continue to work its way down and eventually break out. Or with the news this weekend, who knows what'll happen. It could shoot up or shoot down depending on that as well. All right, so that is what we're looking at here for Bitcoin. Looking at the 4-hour chart for Ethereum. Very, very similar scenario. I like to say that because it's pretty much moving laterally with Bitcoin. What's odd, though, is that it doesn't normally do this. So, normally we see this kind of price action when Bitcoin goes sideways, but right now it is not sure what to do or how to do it. Oddly enough, a lot of really good coins right now, the ones that are, have very good, big picture, really good fundamentals, they're all doing the same exact thing. In fact, they're almost declining more than Bitcoin is right now. And I think that there's something in the air, something going on that is worrying and concerning a lot of whales, and they're selling their positions, and it's getting kind of scary. Regardless of that, with what we see here, just the information we have, the price is below 3 major milestones here. In other words, we've got the 200 and the 50-day moving average working the price down, as well as the fact that we're under the cloud for Ichimoku. Now, I prefer the 1-hour chart. In fact, let's take a quick look at that just to peek, and you can see we're still under the cloud. Right, so it's considered a sell signal when you're under the Ichimoku cloud, and a buy signal when you're above, and it's a no zone when you're with it. Either way, just want to cover that with you really quick. So Ethereum is not looking great right now. I wish I could say better things because I like it, but it doesn't matter right now. All right, so for Matic, let's take a look at the 1-day chart first. And look at this bad boy. It's still overall pretty darn good, all things considered. I mean, you look at the 50-day moving average, that is working as a support level now. We're just above that. And the 200 is obviously trailing. We won't see that for some time. and the RSI is fairly low, all things considered. So those are good indications of buy signals for Matic, which could indicate, the reason why we're seeing a price action today. 4-hour chart, looking at this here. Now, there are some things that concern me here, of course, a lot actually. Both the moving averages are above, right? The 4-hour chart, if you're new to the channel, the 4-hour chart is the most impactful when it comes to simple moving averages. And these are two simple moving averages because they're taking the average of the 200 and the 50 days of trading and expressing it as a price. So right now we see that the 50 is working its way down. We need to break above in order to be in good shape. Also need to break above the cloud as well as the actual 200-day moving average. So contrary to the price action today, and you see the way things are indicating here, there's not a lot of good news on the 4-hour chart for Matic. Not to say it won't continue to progress upwards, but to me, these are not good buy signals. The RSI is right where I expect it to be. Yeah, pretty much following the price action because it's going sideways for the most part. So RSI, just say 45, 50, not really oversold or overbought. It's kind of right in the middle, fair to midland. So not much to really note there. And we'll take a quick look at the 1-hour chart for Ochimoku. Sorry, I always say, I like to say Ochimoku. It's actually Ichimoku. Sorry, I apologize to whomever is offended by that. I need to get better at saying that. Anyways, it's a really, really good indicator. Now, there's a lot of levels to it, right? You could include a lot of these other things that give you good buy signals and sell signals. I won't bore you with the details there. I might include that on my premium Patreon account for my signal group. But for now, I'll leave that alone because it's just kind of more noise. You don't need to worry about it. So if you're going to enable Ichimoku, thank you, you're just going to disable everything and just make sure the background is plotted. Because that's the best thing about this. Keep it simple. Just use the clouds. And the cloud is nice because when the price is under the cloud, it's essentially a sell signal, right? So you should short when it's under. And then when it breaks above, which is about to do, it's about to potentially break above, that would be an indication of a buy signal. It's a long signal. So oftentimes you want to try to take entry as soon as it breaks above. Because look, if you kind of look at the history here, right here, big surprise, it continued to go downwards. Here it broke above and got rejected. So you want to be mindful. You don't want to just take a full-on position when it breaks above. But the general concept is that when it breaks above, it goes up, and when it breaks below, it stays below. Furthermore, you never want to take entry while you're in the cloud. So right now, it's no zone. But within a couple of hours, we could get an indication of a buy signal. All right, so that is a 1-hour chart. Let's go ahead and take a gander at the 15. And let's go here. So if you're new to the channel, my favorite indicators are the volume weighted average price and the EMA line. I use the EMA 15. So the EMA is this red line. The VWAP is the blue line. Blue line is essentially a support and resistance level. It's continuous with the volume. So it takes the volume expressed as a price of the last 24 hours. So right now, you can see the price is supposed to be right around 130, whereas the price is 135. Not a significant difference. However, just keep in mind, every 24 hours around 5 p.m. Pacific, it might be a different time zone for you, it updates and refreshes. Now I'm working on creating an actual VWAP indicator that is continuous with the price action, so we have a constant 24-hour refresh instead of waiting 24 hours and then starting over. Some of you might know what I mean by that if you've utilized this before. Because again, this is made for traditional trading that is just open is 6:30 in the morning and close is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then you got pre-market and post-market for 4 hours. It doesn't need to go a full 24. It's only got shorter time frames. So that's why the VWAP is essentially limited for crypto because it doesn't roll. Either way, I'm going to hopefully address that here soon. That being said, we got the VWAP here, right? So it's telling us right now the price is above VWAP. That is essentially meaning we got confirmation, right? That's one confirmation showing us that the price is above this average line. Same thing with the EMA as well in a sense, right? Because the EMA is essentially an exponential moving average. It works it's much like a MACD, if you're familiar with the moving average convergence divergence. So instead of waiting for the price action to kind of swing and kind of tell you that buy signal, the EMA is essentially a continuous buy signal or sell signal. Because when the price is above, you can see it's working bullishly. When it's below, it's bearish. Now in states of consolidation like we see here, it can be a little muddled. It can be hard to tell what's going on. But as soon as you have confirmation, you have, just say 1 or 2 solid green bars above the EMA line, and it comes over and tests again and continues, that's an indication of a buy signal. So me commonly, I'm looking for things like this, where I see, breakouts above EMA and above VWAP. All right. So this is actually a perfect one here when you think about it, because these both closed above EMA and VWAP. Had you taken a position here, you see the price come down and bounce off the EMA line and continue upwards. That's awesome, awesome indication. So those are things that I like to look for because honestly, without confirmation, you're kind of just gambling, right? I don't like to gamble with my money. I'm a very calculated trader and I like to treat it like a business. Okay, so I have a code, I have a structure, and this is part of my code. So I like to share that with you because you've all been very loyal, very awesome, supporters, and I appreciate you very much. But more importantly, I just like to help other people, grow and become better traders. And this is my opportunity to do that. But I can tell you, if you don't have structure and you don't, you kind of just randomly get in because you think you're lucky, you're going to be your luck's going to run out and you're going to get flushed down the drain because unfortunately Bitcoin or just cryptocurrency in general is tumultuous. It can be very archaic, and I think that it's important to have structure in the sense of good risk tolerance and being patient, right? Keep in mind these are all 15-minute bars, right? So to wait for this patience here in this time frame can be difficult, which is why I'm working on indicators that'll give you a. I'm actually working with some programmers to hopefully create an opportunity to be able to kind of give us an indication, give us some alerts when the price action jumps above EMA and VWAP, right? Again, it won't be perfect, but it will be helpful to kind of give us the understanding that the price action is moving the direction we're heading, right? So we want to look for this. We want to get indications of these things here. So yeah, bottom line, I have a short, kind of a tight risk tolerance. I prefer only to lose 1%, and I try to shoot for a 3% gain. So you can kind of enlarge that, right? You could shoot for, just say 9% gain and a 3% loss. So if you're comfortable with potentially losing 3% on each trade, then you could, shoot for 9% if that makes sense. So it's always, for me, a good ratio is 3-to-1. I've done 2-to-1 ratios before, but with crypto being as volatile as it is, you can commonly get 3-to-1 ratios. So just kind of work on that, think about that. And if you want to train and practice and use what I'm using here in your own way, you go to trading panel down here, you click on paper trading and you connect, and you have the opportunity to be able to trade as much as you'd like, whenever you'd like, and see if it works. Okay. You got to use something like this so you don't flush your money down the toilet. So if you're a newer trader, utilize this, use this. Even as a tenured trader myself, I still use this on occasion, but I used it religiously for months before I started trading. Okay. Again, just something to note and understand. You got to get somewhere somehow, and sometimes losing a bunch of money can be difficult. Or if you're going to start off with a limit, have a small amount that you're investing, and don't invest all of it. If you have $1,000, don't put $1,000 on the line just to get that 1% loss or that 10% gain. Put 20 or 30% of that amount, 200 to 300, into your position initially, and as you get confirmation, you start adding to your position, right? So say you took a position here, and you come up here, and it comes back down, and you get confirmation that you had further confirmation, add to your position here as well. Then you're looking good, and then what you do is you look at the RSI and wait for the price to come back down. As soon as the RSI is under 70, then you exit your position right around here, and you would have gained somewhere in the range of 10%. Again, it would have been a diminished 10% because of the fact that you're adding to your position. You didn't have a full position initially, but you've got to learn somewhere, right? You got to know what your risk tolerance is. You can't jump in all the time. Unless you know that Matic is the end all be all. If Matic is your favorite, most ultimate coin that you're going to invest in the rest of your life, then sure, go all in. That's okay. But don't do it if you are not in a position to lose that money. Honestly, you should always be willing, not willing. You should always, when you make an investment, be okay with losing a certain percentage. Not the full amount, but a certain percent. So whatever you're most comfortable with per trade, how much you're willing to lose, should be your risk tolerance, right? Should be a 3-to-1 ratio. All right. Enough about that. Sorry, I do ramble on about best practice, but I think it's undervalued nowadays. We don't hear it a lot, and I really like to just kind of reiterate that because good traders make good money, and there's definitely money to be made here. But unfortunately, there's a lot of folks out there that will hype things up, and it doesn't matter. Hype means nothing if you have no structure, no qualities, nothing to bring to the table. Okay. So work on that. Paper trade, have some fun with it, and start writing down things. Start logging your trades and see what happens. Work on things you've messed up with. If you didn't honor your risk tolerance one day, you write it down and make sure you don't do it again. Okay, there I go again. Apologize. Yeah, so if you found benefit, please like and subscribe. Just know I have a signal group moving forward here soon, extremely soon. I promise before month end, I will have that tightened up for you, and to make sure that I give you good signals, good indications there. It'll be part of my premium Patreon account, as well as some of these indicators that I'm working on too, to help you just get indications that these things are available to you on specific currencies, right? So that's the whole point. But thanks again for your patience, all of you. You're all very awesome. Matic for the win, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. You know what? Have an awesome day. If you haven't already. I'm going to do so as well. Hope you have a good one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.